and do the shows. They were fucking amazing. I think I did really well. The first show I was a little bit rusty because I hadn't performed for a while. The second show, I fucking smashed it out of the park. And what was really funny was Zac Efron ended up coming to the show. And he comes backstage, and I met him. And he is so lovely. It was shocking to me how fucking normal the guy is. He's just a dude. You know, he was really nice. He wasn't, because this guy, I didn't realize how famous Zac Efron is, because I was around for High School Musical, but I kind of forgot about it because I never watched it. But High School Musical changed, like that's all that my entire school spoke about for about a month. Singing the songs and doing the dances and talking about how hot Zac Efron is and all that kind of shit. And I never watched the film, so I never really got it. But I'm only now kind of just realizing, because I looked him up afterwards. I was like, oh yeah, I hear his name a lot. He is quite famous. This guy's like maybe like a step below Justin Bieber famous, like that fucking insanely famous. And he was like shockingly normal, like such a normal, lovely guy. And he didn't need to be. And also he became so famous so young that you would think that it would fuck you up at least a little bit. And I don't know, maybe he could be hiding it. He could have bodies underneath a fucking house, but he was such a lovely dude. Yeah. So what hanged was, I think, man, I don't think you want to be that famous. Is my takeaway from like meeting him and like talking to him and hanging out with other people, because there are a bunch of actors there from the movie, and I don't think you want to be that famous. I think comedian famous is as famous as you want to be. Anything beyond that is like movie star famous, pop star famous. It's too famous. It's too much. You don't want that, because they were making a big deal. Someone was coming in. Like someone was coming backstage and I didn't even know, you know, and I'm fucking performing. I was kept out of the loop, as I should be, right? And someone was coming in and I was like, oh, I wonder who it is. And then Zac comes in with a guy who I can only describe as professionally dangerous. You know, he was a South African guy, which already, you hear a South African accent, they're either like a warlord benefiting from genocide, or they're like the most dangerous man you'll ever meet in your fucking life. That's the only type of white South Africans that you meet, or they're like a really, really annoying woman. It's three South Africans. It's a dude that is really good at hiding how racist he is. And he's real racist. There's a very, very annoying woman, and those two are married. And then there is the most dangerous cunt you will meet in your life. And that's who I met, right? Lovely dude, but you could just tell that he was on alert, ready for anything at any moment. Like that guy would kill me, no hesitation. And he would get away with it. And I think that not many people would notice, and my body wouldn't be found for a couple of hours. They'd be out of there. That's who I met. But he was lovely, right? He comes in, and then Zac's behind him, and he walks straight up to me. I'm standing up, and he goes, "Are you security?" Because I'm like fucking massive and all black. And he goes, "Are you security?" And I go, "No, I'm a comedian." And he went, "Oh." And like it was like, "Oh, well," and then it just immediately starts looking for other security. And you know, Australia is like, I think when I was in LA at the Comedy Store especially, there's so many famous people go there, like Kevin Hart and just like big celebrities sit in the audience. So there's fucking security guards everywhere, and sometimes celebrities show up with their own security too. So it's a very like well-oiled process of like my security talks to the venue security, they work something out, and then I go in and I get escorted and sat down, and there's guards and everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing. We don't have anyone that famous in Australia. There's no need for that sort of like intricate security system. What we have is like just big cunts, you know, like we got a few big boys. And they're not trained in any form of security. They've never met a really famous person in their life, but they do play rugby. Like that's what we've got. So in walks like the most dangerous man on earth, personal detail for Zac Efron, and he's trying to like organize security for the president, but instead of having like Secret Service, he's just got like a bunch of boys who play rugby on Sundays, and they're like in amateur league, and they lose a lot, and that's what he has to work with. But they managed to work it out, and they did this whole fucking. This is what I mean. Like this, I think it would be so fucked to be that famous, because I don't think that I could not. Because basically, you have to employ someone who's like professionally paranoid for your sake. You know, who is constantly thinking about insane fans, paparazzi swarming you, stalkers, people like who would rob you, like all that kind of shit. You have a guy whose job, his only job, is to keep you safe from everything, and he's constantly on the lookout for danger. I think that having someone around me like that would make me paranoid as fuck, and that would make me weird. Zac wasn't weird at all, but I feel like that would fuck with my head. That would be like, that's the type of famous that just would not be fun. You know, and he goes out in the crowd wearing a face mask, and while I'm performing so no one notices, and all of that fucking bullshit just to enjoy a comedy show. But yeah, so that was a real interesting thing about meeting him. And then afterwards, you know, do the two shows. He saw the second one, and then we come backstage, and he was like, "Man, you were so funny. I loved your stuff about this, and the bit where you did that was so good." And he was like so genuine and nice and like cool, when he just did not have to be at all. Like I was the fucking Australian opening act for a guy he's in a movie with, and he was just like so nice and spoke to me and gave me the time of day. And I was like, man, that's really, really nice. What a lovely dude. And then he goes to Santino, he goes, "Oh, we should get a photo while we're here," right? Now, look, I'm not some freak, okay? I met Rogan, and I did not ask for a photo. I didn't even say, check out my this, or I've done a video on that you should have, or you should have a look at me, or I did nothing. I just had a conversation with the guy, and that was it. Because that wasn't the vibe, right? Okay? But in this scenario, a bunch of people were taking photos, all right? A few of the actresses were taking photos with each other on backstage. Everyone was getting in photos. I'm there, and I'm like, okay, well, this is like the photo opportunity. So I go on with Santino, right? Great. And then I go, "Oh, can we get one to Zac?" And bro, he shot me down in the most A-list, polite, and cool and inoffensive way. Because there are so many ways he could have said no to me, right? He doesn't have to take a photo with me, okay? Because firstly, he could have gone, "No. Sorry, man." No, firstly, he could have gone, "No." Secondly, he could have gone, "Sorry, man, nah." Thirdly, he could have gone, "Oh, I'm just kind of taking photos with like people that I know and that I'm in the movie with." Fourthly, he could have gone, "Look, bro, maybe maybe like another time, or maybe later," and then just never have done it. Those are all great no's, right? Or he could have gone, "Absolutely not." Or he could have avoided the question and had his scary as fuck South African guy go, "Absolutely not. No." Right? All good no's. But he hit me with a no that was so fucking cool that I didn't even realize that I had gotten a no until 10 minutes after it was said. This is so smooth. So I go, he's taking photos with everyone. So I'm like, okay, cool. This is like photo time. I'm going to do that. And I go, get one with Andrew, photo. And they go, "Hey, Zac, can we get a photo?" Because we've been talking back and forth. And he goes, "Oh, can you not post it like right now? Because I don't want people." And I was like, "Yeah, dude, I don't have to post it at all. If you like, it's just like a memory." And he goes, "Oh, okay. How about this? We'll get my guy to take a photo, and then he'll send it to you later." And I was like, "Yeah, perfect, no worries." And we stand up, we take a photo, we take like 3 photos, the flash, everything, right? And then the guy goes, "What's your number, man? I put my number into his phone and he goes, cool, I'll send it to you in a bit. And I was like, great. And then 10 to 15 minutes later, I had all the good feelings of like, man, he was such a nice guy and he was so down to earth and he didn't have to give me the time of day and he was like cool and he said nice things about my act. Like what a genuinely nice dude. I love Zac Efron as a person now. I'm a fan, right? And then 15 minutes after that, I was like, they're never going to send me that photo. I am never, ever going to see that photo ever in my life. And that is fine. That's so unbelievably fine. I don't care at all. I don't give a fuck about it so much that I haven't even felt disappointment. I haven't even gone, oh, I am just in awe at how smooth and how practiced and well rehearsed from everyone in the room that was. Because you know he's done that to heaps of cunts, right? Absolutely. And I bet everyone else in the room has seen that trick happen and they all just watched it happen. And they're all watching me taking a photo with Zac Efron going, this dickhead actually thinks that he's going to get a photo that he can post with Zac Efron. Nah. And that is so, I'm going to start doing that to people. I'm going to start doing that shit. Just not because I need to, because he has to do that because he needs to. Because why would he trust me? You know, you can have a good conversation with a guy, take a photo with him, and then he sends it to paparazzi and all of a sudden your night's fucked. You know, like I'm sure that's happened to him. Like, I wouldn't do that stuff, but also, why would he trust that I wouldn't? We don't really know each other. So, of course, he's going to hit me with that no. And because he needs to, because that's the way that he has to live his life, because he is that famous that he can't just be giving photos out to people when he's in locations where he doesn't want to get mobbed, right? Because he has fans and paparazzi and people whose job it is to follow him and take photos of him looking ugly or looking fucked or looking good or whatever he's looking like at the time so they can sell it to magazines and just fucking leech off him, like that awful type of fame. So why would he trust me? So he's definitely done this and it was definitely rehearsed and I respect the fuck out of it. That was such a good, cool no. I don't think I'll ever forget about it. So if you ever meet me and you go, hey, Lewis, can we get a photo? And I'm with someone else and I go, yeah, no worries. Let my guy take it on his phone. Because that's the thing. It wasn't on my phone. He even goes, my guy has the newest iPhone. The photo will look better. So not only am I left thinking, man, what a cool down-to-earth guy, I'm also thinking, dude, when I get sent this photo, it's going to look great because it's on the new iPhone with flash dude, they even did, I noticed this, they did portrait and landscape. You know, that's incredible. And you know what's even better than that? Obviously, I'm not upset. But if I was the type of person that would get upset about not getting the photo, I wouldn't be angry at Zac because it's not on his phone. It's on his mate's phone. So if I was the type of person to get bitter and angry, right, I would be yelling to you guys about Zac's mate, not Zac. And I'd be going, oh yeah, Zac wanted me to have a photo and Zac was such a cool guy, but his bloody hopeless mate didn't fucking send me one. And Zac avoids all blame. Fucking genius. Fucking genius. I'm unbelievably impressed. Having that experience is genuinely better than having the photo. Absolutely. What an incredible no. Because you guys know me, I'm all about those good no's. There's nothing impresses me more than a good no that gets you out of a situation. And that was fucking flawless execution by everyone in the room. 10 out of 10. I don't need the photo because I've got that story. Incredible. And now, God forbid, if I ever become that famous, which I hope it never happens, I know how to turn down a weird cunt who's asking for a photo when I don't know him like that.